a suitcase in hand, cast out on a snowy solstice night, only to win millions by dawn. Meet Leora, 35, seeking family truth in Boothbay Harbor. Lobster scent clings to the icy air as a crumpled lottery ticket holds secrets. This family drama story of forgiveness could mend or break bonds forever. Unlike revenge tales, compassion heals here. What secrets have you faced? Join Emotional Family Stories. Watch now. The wind bites my cheeks as I stand on Boothbay Harbor's dock, snowflakes swirling like lost thoughts. Solstice dusk paints the sky a bruised purple, and bonfires flicker along the shore, their crackle drowned by distant carols. My suitcase, heavy with everything I own, drags at my arm. Hours ago, my parents Eldrick and Thane shut the door behind me, their voices sharp. "You're on your own, Leora." The words echo colder than the Maine winter. I shuffle forward, boots crunching on ice. The harbor smells of salt and lobster, a scent that once meant home. Now it's a stranger's town. My fingers, numb in thin gloves, brush something in my coat pocket, a crumpled lottery ticket bought on a whim last week. I hold it up, the numbers blurred by snow. A laugh escapes me bitter. What good is luck when your family casts you out? Could this slip of paper change anything? I wonder, my breath clouding. I picture Thane's tired eyes, always fixed on medical bills for her sister, and Eldrick's stern jaw hiding years of absence. They're drowning in caregiving, and I was just in the way. The thought twists my heart, but a spark of hope flickers. Maybe this ticket is a sign, a chance to start over. I clutch the ticket, my hands trembling not just from cold. The bonfires glow inviting, but I'm alone, a shadow among the town's warmth. Can a family heal after such betrayal? I ask myself the question, heavy as the suitcase. The ticket feels like a lifeline. But to what I tuck it back in my pocket, my resolve hardening. I'll find out. Check the numbers, a voice inside urges. I glance at the diner across the street, its neon sign buzzing. The ticket could be nothing or everything. My heart races as I step toward the light, the carols fading behind me. Snow blanketed our Boothbay Harbor home that winter solstice. The air thick with pine and carol echoes from town. Inside the dining room glowed with candlelight, but the warmth felt forced. I sat across from Eldrick and Thane, my parents, their faces etched with exhaustion. The table, set with lobster bisque and cranberry bread, should have been festive, but tension hung like fog. Thane's hands trembled as she passed the platter, her eyes darting to a stack of medical bills by the phone. "Another hospital call today," Thane muttered, her voice sharp. "Your sister's care isn't cheap, Eldrick." Eldrick's jaw tightened, his fork scraping the plate. "We'll manage, Thane. Always do." I shifted in my seat, my smile as stiff as the starched napkins. Why can't I ease their strain? I thought, my heart sinking. I'd helped with Aunt Clara's care, fetching pills, reading to her, but it was never enough. Thane's sighs, Eldrick's silence, they screamed. "I wasn't doing my part. Leora, you're quiet," Thane said, her tone clipped. "Something wrong?" "No," I lied, forcing another smile. "Just enjoying the meal." Eldrick grunted, his eyes distant. "You'd think family could talk openly," he said, more to himself. The words stung. "Talk," I wanted to shout. "You barely see me." But I stayed silent, my fork tracing circles in the bisque. The carols outside grew louder, mocking our strained quiet. Thane's gaze flicked to the bills again, her fingers nodding. Was that why she snapped later, pushing me out? I didn't know then, but the question burned. I stood mumbling about dishes and slipped to the kitchen. The cold tile grounded me as I leaned against the counter alone. What holds us together if we're breaking? I wondered, the weight of their stress pressing my chest. Compassion stirred. I saw their burden, but felt invisible in it. The dining room voices rose. Thane's sharp, Eldrick's low. I lingered unseen, the carols fading. Something was unraveling, and I couldn't stop it. The diner's neon sign hums, casting a warm glow through Boothbay Harbor's snowy dusk. Inside, the air smells of lobster rolls and coffee, mingling with the static of an old radio playing solstice tunes. I slide into a worn booth, my suitcase tucked beside me, the lottery ticket trembling in my hand. The harbor's bonfires flicker outside, but I feel miles away from their warmth. Eldrick's voice haunts me. "You're on your own, Lyora." His words sharp as the winter wind cut deeper now. I smooth the ticket on the table, its numbers stark under the fluorescent light. The radio crackles a news jingle breaking through. Tonight's lottery numbers: 7, 14, 22, 28, 41, 50. My heart stumbles. I check again, my breath catching. They match, every single one. Millions. My hands shake the ticket, a lifeline I didn't expect. Is this real? I wonder, my mind spinning. I see Thane's worried glance from that dinner, her eyes heavy with caregiving strain. She looked at me like I was a burden, not a daughter. And Eldrick, his silence louder than his words. This win could change everything, prove I'm enough, but doubt gnaws. Will they care, or will wealth just widen the rift? The waitress, her apron stained, eyes me. "You okay, hun?" she asks, her voice kind but distant. I nod, clutching the ticket. "Just checking something," I murmur, my voice barely mine. The radio hums again, a carol now, its cheer mocking my loneliness. I'm rich, but I'm alone, a stranger in my hometown. Can wealth mend a broken family? I ask myself the question, heavy. Resilience stirs, I've been pushed out. But I'm still here holding this chance. I glance at the suitcase, then the ticket. Thane's face flashes her worried glance, not anger, but fear. Was she protecting something? The thought flickers unformed. I stand my boots squeaking on the linoleum and head for the door. I need answers, but trust feels fragile. The radio fades as I step into the snow, the ticket burning in my pocket. Morning light glints off Boothbay Harbor's snowy market, where lobster stalls hum with solstice shoppers. The air smells of brine and cedar, but my heart pounds with purpose. I stride through the crowd, my suitcase bumping my hip, the lottery ticket safe in my pocket. Thane's clapboard house looms ahead, its windows frosted. Yesterday's win fuels me, but Eldrick's words, "You're on your own," burn hotter. I need answers. I spot Thane at a stall haggling over crab. Her scarf is frayed, her eyes sunken. Eldrick stands nearby, his gaze lost in the snow. I march up, my voice sharp. "Why'd you throw me out, Ma?" Was I that much of a burden? Thane freezes her hands, clutching a bag. "Lyora not here," she hisses, glancing at curious vendors. "Here's fine," I snap, my breath clouding. "You and Dad shut me out." "Why?" Eldrick turns his face stern but weary. "Enough, Lyora," he mutters. But there's no fire in it. Thane's eyes flare. "You don't get it, do you?" Clara's care bills piling up, nights without sleep. "You were..." Another wait. Her voice cracks, betraying guilt. I stagger, anger mixing with shock. Another wait, I think, my chest tight. I see those medical bills by the phone. Thane's trembling hands at dinner. Caregiving's crushing her. But I was her daughter. "You could have talked to me," I say softer now, the crowd blurring. "Talk," Thane laughs bitter. "When you hid that loan sneaking behind our backs." The accusation stings, a half-truth from years ago. I want to scream, but her defeated look stops me. Eldrick shifts his silence heavy, like he's carrying his own shame. What drove her to this, I wonder, my anger fraying. Compassion creeps in, but I cling to hurt, the market's bustle fading. I turn my boots, crunching snow, and walk away, the suitcase dragging. Thane's words echo, but so does her exhaustion. The market's cedar scent lingers, a faint reminder of home. Seeing her pain doesn't erase mine, I reflect, my heart torn. Something's hidden, and I need to know what. Afternoon sun filters through Maris's lace curtains, warming her cozy Boothbay Harbor home. The scent of chamomile tea and cedar fills the air, mingling with the faint hum of solstice bonfires being prepped outside. I sit on her worn sofa, my suitcase by the door, the lottery ticket heavy in my pocket. Thane's words from the market, another wait echo, but Maris's kind eyes, crinkled with wisdom, hold me steady. Her smartphone buzzes on the table unanswered, a source of endless frustration. "You can't carry that anger forever," Lyora Maris says, pouring tea. Her voice is soft but firm, like the Maine tides. "Your ma's drowning in Clara's care bills, sleepless nights." She lashed out, "But it's not all about you." I sip the tea, its warmth easing my chest. Is there a way back? I think, picturing Thane's tired eyes, her scarf frayed at the edges. I saw her burden today, but the hurt lingers. She could have talked to me, I murmur, my voice catching. Maris chuckles, tapping her phone. Talk like me in this blasted app. Tried to order yarn, got cat food instead. Her laugh lightens the room, and I smile despite myself. Point is, she continues, families mess up. But you've got a chance. That solstice bonfire tonight, get your folks there. Talk, not shout. Start small. I nod. Hope flickering like the bonfires outside. What if they don't come? I ask, my fingers tracing the teacup's rim. They'll come, Maris says, her hand on mine. They're hurting too. I see Thane's defeated look, Eldrick's distant gaze. Maybe Maris is right. Dialogue could mend this. I agree to the bonfire, my heart cautious but open. Family's worth trying for. I reflect, the thought steadying me. I stand ready to invite them, the suitcase less heavy now. Maris's phone buzzes again, and she groans. This thing'll be my end, she mutters, making me laugh. The bonfire's glow beckons through the window, promising warmth. But will they show? I step outside the cedar scent, clinging hope, fragile but alive. The solstice bonfire roars on Boothbay Harbor's shore, its flames dancing against the snowy night. Sparks snap, mingling with the scent of pine and salt, as townsfolk gather their laughter, a distant hum. I stand near the fire, my suitcase at my feet, the lottery ticket tucked away. My heart thumps, hoping Eldrick and Thane will come. Maris's words echo, talk, not shout. But the air feels heavy, like a storm brewing. Thane appears first, her coat dusted with snow, her eyes wary. Eldrick follows, his face carved with regret. I step forward, my voice steady. I'm glad you came. I want to understand why you pushed me out. Eldrick shifts his boots, crunching. It was tough, Leora, he starts, but... Thane cuts in, her voice sharp. You want truth? She says, pulling a folded note from her pocket. This is why. She thrusts it at me, her hands trembling. I unfolded a bank notice years old about a loan I took and hid, thinking I'd save us. It backfired, straining them more. You lied to us, Thane snaps, her eyes blazing. I couldn't trust you, so I told you to go. It was my call, not Eldrick's. The words hit like ice. Thane, not Eldrick. My breath catches shock, flooding me. I'd blame Dad's silence, his stern face, but Thane orchestrated it. The bonfire's heat feels suffocating. You did this, I stammer, my voice breaking. Thane's face crumples, but she nods. Clara's care was killing us. I thought you'd be better off. Eldrick looks away, his silence louder now. Why didn't she talk to me? I think, my hands clenching the note. Guilt stirs, my loan hurt them, but this betrayal cuts deeper. The crowd's chatter fades, leaving only the fire's crackle. Honesty could have saved us. I reflect, the sting raw. I turn, grabbing my suitcase, and storm into the snow, the note crumpled in my fist. Thane's choice, not Eldrick's, changes everything. What drove her to this, I wonder, my heart pounding. The bonfire's glow dims behind me, but the truth burns brighter, demanding answers. The Boothbay Harbor docks stretch into the solstice night snow, falling like silent tears. Waves crash softly, their rhythm a cold comfort against the bonfire's distant crackle. I stand alone, my suitcase. A heavy shadow, the crumpled banknote from Thane burning in my pocket. Her words, my call, not Eldrick's, echo, tearing open wounds. The lottery ticket, my fleeting hope, feels useless now. I'm abandoned, cast out by the one I trusted most. I sink onto a bench, the wood icy through my coat. Why wasn't I enough? I think, tears stinging. A memory surges last summer. I sat by Aunt Clara's bedside reading her favorite mysteries, her frail hand in mine. Thane was at the hospital, Eldrick at sea, and I stayed unnoticed. I changed linens, fetched meds, my efforts invisible. Thane never said thank you, just sighed, her eyes on bills. That unacknowledged care cuts deeper, now proof I was never enough. The waves' crash grows louder, mirroring my despair. Can I ever belong again, I wonder? My chest tight. But Maris's voice creeps in, her talk of family messes. Compassion stirs, Thane's caregiving load crushed her too. Maybe she didn't see me because she couldn't. Footsteps crunch behind me. It's Maris, her scarf flapping, clutching her smartphone like a grenade. This blasted thing, she grumbles, squinting at the screen. Tried to text my son, sent a fish emoji to the grocer. Her laugh breaks the night, and I manage a weak smile, the weight lifting slightly. You shouldn't be out here alone, she says, sitting beside me. Her warmth grounds me, but the docks feel endless. Compassion starts with seeing their pain. I reflect Thane's exhaustion clearer now. The waves keep crashing, but a faint hope glimmers. Maybe understanding can heal. I wipe my tears, the note still in my hand. Maris pats my shoulder, her phone buzzing again. The bonfire's glow fades, but questions linger. What else don't I know about Thane's choice? Maris's Boothbay Harbor home glows with lamplight, the solstice night pressing against its windows. Snow dusts the sills, and the scent of chamomile tea lingers mixing with cedar from a crackling fireplace. I sit at her kitchen table, my suitcase by the door, the crumpled banknote from Thane tucked in my coat. The bonfire's betrayal. Thane's choice to oust me still stings, but Maris's steady presence anchors me. Her smartphone buzzes, ignored, as she fumbles with an email app muttering, "Sent a recipe to the pastor by mistake." She laughs, and I manage a faint smile, the warmth easing my ache. Maris sets a chipped photo frame between us, its image faded her with a young Eldrick, both grinning on a fishing boat. "Families break, Leora," she says, her voice soft. "Mine did, my son left after I pushed too hard. But your dad? His silence isn't what you think." I lean in, my breath catching. "What do you mean?" I ask, my fingers tracing the photo's edge. Maris sighs. "Eldrick's business, a lobster co-op, failed years back. Lost everything. He felt he let you all down, hid it behind that stern face. Not neglect, but shame." The words shift something in me. Shame, I think, picturing Eldrick's distant gaze at the market. I see him now, supporting Thane's caregiving for Clara, quietly paying bills despite his own pain. My loan, my secrecy must have cut deeper because of it. Did I misjudge him? I wonder, my heart softening. Maris sips her tea, her eyes distant. "He stayed away to protect you from his failure like I pushed my son. Families mess up, but love's still there." The fireplace pops its glow like the bonfires outside. Understanding their pain changes mine, I reflect, seeing parallels in Maris's loss. Thane's caregiving, Eldrick's shame, their trap too. I clutch the photo, its weight a bridge to my past. Maris's phone buzzes again, and she groans. "This thing's cursed," she says, making me chuckle. I stand the note heavier now. What else have I missed about my parents' choices? The snow outside swirls, urging me forward. Snow falls thickly over Boothbay Harbor, blanketing Thane's clapboard house in solstice silence. The air carries salt and pine, and distant bonfires flicker their warmth unreachable. I stand in the attic, my suitcase downstairs, the lottery ticket and banknote in my pocket. Maris's story about Eldrick's shame lingers, urging me to dig deeper. Thane's betrayal, her choice to oust me, still burns, but I need to know why. A dusty journal tucked under a floorboard catches my eye. I kneel, my fingers trembling as I open it. Thane's handwriting spills across the pages, raw and hurried. "Clara's care is breaking us," she wrote last spring. "Leora's helping, but she's fading, bags under her eyes always here. I can't let it consume her too. Pushing her away might save her." My breath catches. "Save me." The words rewrite everything. Thane didn't reject me out of anger, she was shielding me from burnout. I sink to the floor, the journal heavy in my hands. She thought she was protecting me, I think, my heart twisting. I see Thane's tired eyes at that solstice dinner, her trembling hands on bills. She carried Clara's care alone, fearing I'd lose myself in it. Her harshness was love masked by fear. The twist stuns me, softening my anger. "Why didn't you tell me?" I whisper to the empty attic, my voice cracking. The snow outside muffles the world, leaving only my thoughts. Forgiveness feels possible now. I reflect the journal, a bridge to Thane's heart. I recall Maris's words, "Families mess up, but love's there." Thane's sacrifice, though flawed, was love. I clutch the journal, its pages worn like Thane's scarf. The attic's chill seeps in, but clarity warms me. Eldrick's shame. Thane's fear, they both hid pain to protect me. What else have I misunderstood, I wonder, standing? The bonfire's glow calls through the window, hinting at a path forward. I tuck the journal in my coat, my resolve firm. I need to face Thane, not with anger, but with questions. The snow keeps falling, and the truth feels closer but not complete. The solstice moon lights Thane's dining room in Boothbay Harbor, where snow taps the windows. The table groans with lobster cranberry bread and chowder, their steam curling in the candlelight. I stand at the head, my suitcase stowed the lottery ticket, and Thane's journal in my pocket. Eldrick and Thane sit hesitant, their faces worn. The air smells of butter and pine, but tension crackles like the bonfires outside. After the journal's revelation, Thane's protective ousting, I need truth, not silence. I clear my throat, my voice firm. We're talking tonight. No more hiding. Why did you push me away? Thane flinches, her fork still. Leora, I told you Clara's care. No. I cut in, my heart pounding. You wrote you were saving me, but you broke us. Why not talk? Eldrick shifts his eyes, meeting mine. It's my fault too, he says, voice low. My co-op failed years ago. I was ashamed, thought I failed you. I let Thane decide, stayed quiet. The confession lands heavy. Shame, not neglect, I think, seeing his weathered hands. Thane's eyes glisten. I was scared, she admits, her voice breaking. Clara's bill's your loan. It felt like drowning. I thought you'd be free without us. My chest tightens, their words peeling back years. I helped with Clara, I say softer. I wanted to stay, not leave. The lobster scent fades the room, shrinking to us. Thane reaches for my hand, her touch trembling. I see that now, she whispers. Eldrick nods, his face open. The dialogue, raw and real, stitches old wounds. Truth heals. I reflect my anger dissolving into relief. I squeeze Thane's hand, Eldrick's gaze warm. We start over, I say, my voice steady. The chowder steams, a promise of new meals. Dialogue can rebuild us. I think the candles flickering like hope. But have I faced my own part in this? I sit the table, a circle of trust, but questions linger. The snow falls, and the night feels unfinished. Snow swirls over Boothbay Harbor's docks, the solstice night deepening. The harbor's icy breath carries salt and pine, and distant bonfires flicker their warmth, a faint promise. I sit on a weathered bench, my suitcase beside me, a journal, not Thane's but mine, in my lap. The lottery ticket rests in my pocket, its weight heavier than the millions it holds. Last night's dinner bared Eldrick's shame and Thane's fear, their truths knitting us closer. But something gnaws at me, a truth I've dodged. I open my journal, my pen trembling. What's my part in this? I think the dinner's warmth fading. I write words spilling like tears. Years ago, I took that loan, hiding it to help them, but it added to Thane's stress. When they struggled with Clara's care, I resented their size, their distance, assuming they didn't want me. My anger built walls, snapped replies, cold silences that pushed them away as much as Thane's choice did. The realization hits like a wave. I fueled this rift, I whisper, my breath clouding. The twist stuns me, my resentment. Not just their actions broke us. I sacrificed time, energy, love for Clara. But never spoke it, expecting them to see. My unacknowledged sacrifice fed my bitterness, blinding me to their pain. The ticket slips from my pocket, landing in the snow. I pick it up. Its numbers faded. It's not just wealth, it's a mirror showing my pride. Forgiving myself frees me. I reflect the journal, heavy with truth. The docks are silent, the waves a soft pulse. I see Thane's trembling hand, Eldrick's open gaze. They tried, flawed as me. I write one last line. We all messed up, but we can rebuild. The bench creaks as I lean back, guilt easing into peace. Forgiveness starts within. I think the bonfires glow brighter now. But can I share this truth with them? I close the journal, the ticket in my hand. The snow falls, and the harbor waits its quiet, urging me toward a final step. Dawn breaks over Boothbay Harbor, the solstice snow sparkling on a seaside cabin I've rented with my lottery millions. The air smells of salt and cedar, and bonfires smolder from last night's festivities. Inside, a long table holds steaming coffee, blueberry scones, and lobster quiche, their warmth inviting. My suitcase is unpacked, the ticket and journal stowed, my heart lighter after journaling my own fault in our rift. Eldrick and Thane stand by the door, hesitant, their faces softer than I've seen in years. I smile, my voice warm. "Welcome to our retreat," I say, gesturing to the table. "A fresh start." Thane's eyes glisten, her scarf new, a gift from me. "Leora, this is too much," she murmurs, stepping forward. Eldrick nods, his hand on her shoulder. "We don't deserve it," he says, voice gruff but kind. "You do," I reply, my throat tight. "We all messed up, me too. I held resentment, pushed you away. But we're here now." The confession raw from my journal binds us. Thane hugs me, her embrace fierce, and Eldrick joins his arms steady. The caregiving stress, my loan, their shame, it's not gone, but it's shared. We sit passing scones, laughter breaking through. "Remember our old solstice sing-alongs?" I ask, pulling out a guitar. Thane hums. Eldrick chuckles, and we sing Silent Night. Our voices shaky but true. Family bonds are worth fighting for. I reflect the song a balm. The cabin's warmth mirrors our hope. "Clara would have loved this," Thane says, her smile sad but bright. I nod, knowing our care for her, though heavy, was love. Reconciliation heals us, I think, the quiche's scent grounding the moment. The bonfires outside glow, a promise of new days. I raise my coffee. "To us," I say, "and to sharing our story." They nod, their smiles real. "Share your story too," I think, hoping others find this peace. The snow falls gently, the harbor serene. We're not perfect, but we're together, and that's enough. Our voices blend in silent night, filling the solstice cabin with warmth. Forgiveness healed our rifts, Thane's fear, Eldrick's shame, my resentment through honest dialogue. Resilience rebuilt our bonds, showing love finds a way despite caregiving's toll. Like us, your family can mend with compassion. Share your story of reconciliation below, and let's spread hope together.